Captured on June 5, 1989, this image shows an unknown Chinese man standing fearlessly in front of a column of tanks the day after the brutal Tiananmen Square massacre. Despite repeated attempts by the tanks to maneuver around him, he refused to move, symbolizing defiance against oppression. His identity and fate remain unknown, but his act of courage continues to inspire movements for freedom worldwide. This famous photo shows 11 construction workers casually eating lunch while sitting on a steel beam 850 feet above Manhattan. Taken during the Great Depression, the image wasn't just a display of daring workers, but also a staged publicity stunt to showcase the strength and progress of New York's booming skyline. The names of most workers remain a mystery, adding to the legend of the photo. In the 1970 FIFA World Cup, after Brazil's victory over England, football legends Pelé and Bobby Moore embraced in mutual respect. At a time when racism was still rampant in sports, this moment of sportsmanship between a Brazilian star and an English captain transcended racial and national divides, showing that football could unite rather than divide. On December 17, 1903, in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Orville and Wilbur Wright made history by achieving the first controlled, powered flight. Their plane, the Wright Flyer, lifted just 10 feet above the ground and traveled 120 feet in 12 seconds. Though humble by today's standards, this moment revolutionized transportation and set humanity on a path toward the skies and beyond. This simple photo of John, Paul, George, and Ringo walking across Abbey Road became one of the most iconic album covers in music history. Taken outside the band's recording studio, it sparked conspiracy theories, including the famous Paul is dead rumor due to Paul walking barefoot. Decades later, the crossing remains a pilgrimage site for Beatles fans. Taken during the Battle of Iwo Jima in World War II, this photo shows 6 US Marines raising the American flag atop Mount Suribachi. It became a symbol of perseverance and sacrifice, but few know that this was actually the second flag raising, staged for a better photograph. 3 of the 6 men in the photo were later killed in battle. Taken on his 72nd birthday, this playful photo of Albert Einstein was meant as a private joke. Annoyed by photographers, he stuck his tongue out at them, but instead of being dismissed, the image became one of the most famous representations of the brilliant scientist's fun-loving personality. Einstein himself liked it so much that he asked for copies. The 1970 Summer Olympics in Munich turned into tragedy when Palestinian terrorists took 11 Israeli athletes hostage. This chilling image of a masked terrorist on a balcony became a symbol of the event's horror. After a failed rescue attempt, all 11 hostages were killed, changing how the world viewed security at international sporting events. After spending 27 years in prison for fighting against apartheid, Nelson Mandela was finally freed on February 11, 1990. This image of him walking hand in hand with his wife, Winnie, signified hope for a new South Africa. 4 years later, he became the country's first black president, leading a peaceful transition from decades of racial oppression. This famous shot from the 7-year it shows Marilyn Monroe laughing as her white dress blows up over a subway grate. While iconic, the moment was bittersweet. Her then-husband, Joe DiMaggio, was furious over the scene, leading to tensions that would later end their marriage. This intense, stoic image of Che Guevara became the ultimate symbol of revolution worldwide. Taken at a funeral for victims of a ship explosion in Cuba, his determined gaze captured the defiance and passion that would make him a revolutionary icon, despite his controversial legacy. During the medal ceremony for the 200-meter race at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, US athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their black-gloved fists in a silent protest against racial injustice. As the American national anthem played, their powerful stance became one of the most defining moments in sports history. Both were expelled from the Olympics and faced years of backlash, but their protest left a lasting impact on civil rights movements worldwide. On June 8, 1972, a harrowing image of 9-year-old Fantia Kim-Fuk running naked down a road, her skin burning from a napalm attack, shocked the world. Captured by photographer Nickert, The photo exposed the brutal reality of the Vietnam War. Kim Phuc survived but suffered severe burns. Today, she advocates for peace, turning her painful past into a message of hope. On July 20, 1969, astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon, declaring, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The image of him planting the American flag on the lunar surface symbolized humanity's greatest technological achievement. The Apollo 11 mission proved space travel was possible, sparking endless curiosity about what lies beyond our planet. On July 20, 1969, astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon, declaring, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The image of him planting the American flag on the lunar surface symbolized humanity's greatest technological achievement. The Apollo 11 mission proved space travel was possible, sparking endless curiosity about what lies beyond our planet. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen took the first ever X-ray image, capturing the bones of his wife's hand. When she saw it, she reportedly exclaimed, "I have seen my death." This groundbreaking discovery revolutionized medicine, allowing doctors to see inside the human body for the first time. In 1955, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama. Her mugshot, taken after her arrest, became a powerful symbol of the civil rights movement, proving that one act of defiance could change history. This haunting image, taken just before the Titanic set sail on April 10, 1912, captures the doomed ship in all its glory. Just 4 days later, it struck an iceberg and sank, killing over 1,500 passengers. The image remains a chilling reminder of the world's most famous maritime disaster. In 1960, Ruby Bridges became the first African-American child to integrate an all-white elementary school in New Orleans. At just 6 years old, she was escorted by federal marshals as angry white mobs screamed racial slurs at her. Despite the hate, Ruby continued to attend school daily, symbolizing the fight for civil rights and equal education in America. In 1985, a volcanic eruption in Colombia caused a mudslide that buried Amaro, trapping 13-year-old Omera Sanchez under debris. Rescuers struggled for 3 days to free her, but her legs were pinned. She remained brave, speaking to reporters, before dying from exhaustion and gangrene. Her haunting final photo became a symbol of resilience and government failure. On December 8, 1980, John Lennon was shot outside his New York apartment by Mark David Chapman. Just hours before, this chilling photo was taken, showing Chapman asking Lennon for an autograph. Later that night, Chapman returned and shot Lennon 5 times, killing him. This disturbing photo was taken by serial killer Robert Ben Rhodes, moments before he murdered 14-year-old Regina K. Walters. He abducted her, cut her hair, and forced her into this black dress before taking her life. The image was later found in his truck, serving as evidence of his crimes. Green Boots is the frozen body of a climber, believed to be Tsuan Palja, who died during the 1996 Everest disaster. Trapped in a blizzard near the summit, he sought shelter in a cave but succumbed to extreme cold and oxygen deprivation. His body remained a chilling landmark for decades, symbolizing Everest's deadly risks. In 2014, it mysteriously disappeared, but the legend endures. This heartbreaking photo shows 3-year-old Alan Kurdi, a Syrian refugee, lying lifeless on a beach after his family attempted to flee the Syrian civil war. The image became a symbol of the refugee crisis, sparking global outrage over the treatment of displaced people.